Today, Hazbin Hotel dropped episodes 3 and 4 of Season 2. And honestly, these might just be the wildest ones yet. We're talking huge plot twists, insanely catchy songs, and moments that had me laughing out loud. As always, I'll start with a quick rundown of what happens in both episodes before diving into my thoughts. Let's get into it. Episode 3 picks up right where Episode 2 left off. Charlie invites Velvet and Vox to the hotel for a filming session. And of course, they twist it into a PR disaster that makes her look bad. Meanwhile, Cherry Bomb is trying to dig up information about Sir Pentious through Baxter. We even get a fun Cherry X Snake song followed by a beautiful solo from Charlie. She tries to redeem Angel Dust, but things don't go according to plan, and we finally learn more about his heartbreaking backstory. The episode wraps up with Cherry deciding to stay at the hotel. A pretty wholesome ending. Episode 4 follows a similar structure, focusing on 2 major storylines. Alastor quits the hotel and pays a visit to Rosie, where we finally get to see his mysterious backstory through a flashback, and learn that Rosie actually owns his soul. The two even share a song together that's both haunting and beautiful. Meanwhile, Charlie and Nifty head over to 666 News to try and clear up all the lies being spread, which, as you can imagine, goes hilariously wrong. Nifty also gets her very own solo moment here. Then we get an incredible fight sequence. Alastor goes up against the V's, calling in Nifty and Husk to help. In the end, he strikes a deal with Vox to become his captive, which leads to Vox celebrating like crazy. We also get another flashback showing Vox and Alastor's past friendship before everything fell apart. The two then perform a powerful reprise of Rosie's song, closing the episode with a perfectly timed joke from Val about them getting it on. Now, with the plot covered, let's talk about what worked, because honestly, both of these episodes were phenomenal. In fact, episode 4 might be the best Hazbin Hotel episode to date. It nails everything. The story, the humor, the pacing, the visuals, the music. It's got that perfect blend of emotional depth, action, and comedy that makes this show so special. One of the biggest improvements is the runtime. Just like episodes 1 and 2, the extra few minutes make a huge difference. The pacing feels smoother, scenes get room to breathe, and everything flows naturally. If future seasons continue this trend, or even expand on it, we're in for something truly amazing. Episode 3 in particular gave us some great lore. We learned more about Sanus, Baxter, and even got solid development for Angel. Vox and Velvet completely stole the show again. No surprise there. At this point, I'm convinced these two need their own spin-off series. Their chemistry, humor, and screen presence are on another level. The way Velvet teases the hotel's red aesthetic or Vox's dramatic gestures, it's all comedy gold. They just have this effortless charisma that makes every scene they're in shine. The animation and visuals are also noticeably improved from Season 1. Every frame feels alive, with expressive character gestures and vibrant colors that pop off the screen. Episode 4, though? Wow. From start to finish, it's pure perfection. The dual A and B storylines are balanced flawlessly, unlike some Season 1 episodes where subplots sometimes clashed. Here, everything feels cohesive and purposeful. Alastor's time with Rosie is gripping, finally revealing the backstory we've all been waiting over 6 years to see. Their duet? Absolute brilliance. The melody, lyrics, and emotional weight blend perfectly. I still have it stuck in my head. We also get a deeper look at Rosie's character. Calm, mysterious, and subtly menacing. She doesn't need to shout to command attention. Then there's Charlie's chaotic visit to 666 News, which is pure comedic gold. Kitty's over-the-top personality had me in stitches. Her awkward attempts to act professional, her wild commentary, everything about it just works. Nifty's solo song adds a refreshing change of pace, giving some anime-style energy reminiscent of the amazing digital circus. And of course, the battle sequence between the V's and Alastor, absolute spectacle. Vox's teleportation, Velvet summoning weapons from social media, Husk revealing his own powerful moves. It's also well animated and fun to watch. But my personal favorite moment was Vox's flashback. Seeing him as Vincent, the sweet, awkward version of himself before fame corrupted him, it genuinely hit hard. Watching how Alastor's cold rejection shaped his obsession with power and validation adds a whole new layer to his character. It's tragic, honestly. And then, ending the episode with that duet reprise between Vox and Alastor? Chef's kiss. It ties everything together beautifully. Now, even though I loved both episodes, I do have a few minor criticisms. For one, I still prefer Katie Killjoy's old voice. Don't get me wrong, Brandon does a great job bringing her to life, but Fama's version just had that extra spark. Still, the new writing for Katie is miles ahead of what we got in the pilot, so it balances out. Another small gripe, Charlie's overly naive personality. I get that her optimism is part of her charm, but sometimes it feels a bit overdone. We've seen this same cluelessness since season 1, and it's starting to wear thin. I'd love to see her grow a bit more, still hopeful and kind, but with a stronger sense of awareness. Right now, she feels stuck at square one while the rest of the cast is evolving fast. Lastly, while most of the songs were amazing, a few didn't quite hit the same level. The Cherry Snake duet and Charlie's Redemption song were okay, just not particularly memorable compared to the standout numbers like Alastor and Rosie's duet. Nifty's song, while cute, felt a little random in placement. Still, none of them were bad, just not as emotionally strong as the others. So overall, episodes 3 and 4 were absolute bangers. The writing, animation, and character depth are better than ever, and I honestly can't wait to see what comes next. These episodes open up so many new possibilities for theories, storylines, and fan discussions. What about you? Did you enjoy these 2 episodes as much as I did? Do you agree with my take? Or do you have your own theories brewing? Let me know in the comments below. I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. Hazbin Hotel Season 2 just went absolutely insane with episodes 3 and 4. These 2 episodes didn't just raise the bar, they shattered it. Between shocking character reveals, unexpected emotional moments, and some of the most visually stunning sequences the show has ever produced, I genuinely think these might be the best episodes we've gotten so far. Episode 3 gives us betrayal, manipulation, and heartbreak, while Episode 4 finally pulls back the curtain on Alastor's mysterious past and Vox's tragic origin. If you thought you knew these characters before, you were dead wrong, because now everything has changed. Episode 3 picks up right where Episode 2 left off, and right away, the tone is chaotic. Charlie, still full of optimism and determination, invites Vox and Velvet to the hotel to film. And for a brief moment, you might think, oh, maybe this could actually go well. But of course, it's Hazbin Hotel. The second the cameras start rolling, everything spirals out of control. Vox and Velvet twist every word, turning Charlie's good intentions into a public disaster. What was supposed to be a moment of redemption for the hotel turns into pure humiliation, with the V's spinning the story to make Charlie look naive and desperate. It's manipulative, cruel, and perfectly in character for them, and it sets the tone for how ruthless this season is becoming. Meanwhile, on the other side of hell, Cherry Bomb's story takes a surprising turn. She's trying to dig up more information about Serpentius, and we're introduced to Baxter, a fascinating addition to the cast who brings both comic relief and mystery. The Cherry and Snake song that follows is chaotic, catchy, and filled with clever lyrics that give us a glimpse into their personalities. But right after that, we get something that completely shifts the mood. Charlie's song about redemption. It's heartfelt, full of hope, but it also exposes her biggest flaw. She keeps believing she can fix everyone, even when they don't want to be fixed. Angel Dust scenes tie into this perfectly. We finally see parts of his backstory, and it's genuinely heartbreaking. His trauma, his self-doubt, and his inability to accept love or forgiveness are all laid bare here. Charlie's attempt to redeem him doesn't go as planned, and when it fails, it hurts. It's the kind of emotional gut punch Hazbin Hotel delivers best. By the end of episode 3, Cherry decides to stay at the hotel, and while it feels like a small victory, the entire episode leaves you uneasy. The balance between comedy and chaos is masterful, but underneath it all, you can feel something darker brewing. Vox and Velvet have started something much bigger than Charlie realizes, and by the time the credits roll, it's clear this isn't just about running a hotel anymore. It's about power, manipulation, and image, and the V's are winning that game. The pacing in this episode is so smooth, with every scene flowing naturally into the next, making it one of the most tightly written episodes so far. The humor hits perfectly, the songs are packed with meaning, and the visual direction feels like a full-on animation flex from the team. It's clear that the creators are at the top of their game, but the best part? Even though episode 3 was amazing, it was only a warm-up, because episode 4 takes everything you thought you knew and flips it upside down. It's not just a continuation, it's a revelation. The moment Alastor walks out of the hotel and pays Rosie a visit, you can feel the atmosphere shift. We know we're about to see something special. For years, fans have speculated about Alastor's past, his deal, and the truth about his power. And now, after all this time, we finally get it. The moment Alastor steps away from the hotel, the entire tone of Hazbin Hotel shifts. It's darker, more somber, and strangely nostalgic. You can instantly tell that something important is coming, something the show has been building toward since day one. When Alastor arrives at Rosie's establishment, the air feels heavy with unspoken history. Their interaction isn't your usual playful banter. There's tension beneath every word, every smirk, and every pause. Rosie's calm yet intimidating presence contrasts perfectly with Alastor's polite yet unsettling energy. And then, with a simple conversation, the truth begins to unravel. We find out that Rosie isn't just a close friend or a casual acquaintance. She's the one who owns his soul. That reveal alone flips the entire perception of Alastor upside down. For years, fans have called him the most powerful being in hell, the untouchable overlord. But in this moment, we see that even the radio demon has chains binding him. The flashback sequence that follows is easily one of the most breathtaking moments in the entire show. The shift in animation style, the muted colors, and the haunting music create this eerie, almost cinematic feeling. We finally see Alastor's life before he became the monster we know. His human life was filled with charm and ambition, but also an unsettling desire for control. And that same hunger is what ultimately leads him down his twisted path. The flashback gives us just enough detail to understand how Rosie came into the picture, but not enough to answer every question, keeping that perfect layer of mystery intact. Their song together ties it all together beautifully. It's not just a performance, it's storytelling through melody. The lyrics hint at regret, lost opportunities, and the fragile balance of power between the two. The chemistry between Alastor and Rosie is chilling yet mesmerizing, and by the end of the song, you can't help but feel like you've just witnessed a secret that was never meant to be heard. While all this is happening, the show balances it out with Charlie and Nifty's chaotic journey to 666 News. This subplot mirrors Alastor's story in the most unexpected way. Charlie's trying to take control of her narrative, to correct the lies that Vox and Velvet spread, but it backfires spectacularly. The newscast is a train wreck in the funniest way possible. Kitty, the overly dramatic and blatantly biased news anchor, steals every scene she's in. Her delivery, her jokes, and her backhanded comments make the entire segment hilarious, but at the same time, it adds another layer of frustration to Charlie's arc. You can feel her desperation bubbling beneath her smile. She's trying to prove herself, trying to show that her dream is worth believing in, but every attempt only seems to make things worse. It's the same pattern we saw in episode 3, but now it's more painful because the stakes are higher. Charlie's optimism is slowly turning into exhaustion, and you can sense that a breaking point is coming. Back to Alastor, his meeting with Rosie ends on a haunting note. There's this eerie calmness between them, like two predators quietly acknowledging that they could destroy each other if they wanted to. When Alastor leaves her place, you can tell something inside him has changed. He's not the same smug, confident overlord anymore. There's a flicker of fear, maybe even vulnerability, hiding behind that grin. And that's what makes this episode so special. For the first time, the show lets us see Alastor as something more than a charismatic enigma. We see him as a man with a past, with regrets, and with someone who quite literally holds his fate in her hands. It humanizes him in a way that's unsettling, but also fascinating. And then, just when you think the episode can't possibly get any better, it kicks into overdrive. The tension that's been building all season finally explodes as Alastor finds himself facing off against the V's. Vox, Velvet, and Val are all at their most unhinged here, and what follows is nothing short of a visual masterpiece. The battle that unfolds is pure chaos, a mix of vibrant energy, quick cuts, and surreal visuals that perfectly capture the insanity of hell itself. Each character gets their moment to shine. Nifty gets her solo song, showing off both her quirky charm and her surprising strength. Husk steps in with powers that completely catch viewers off guard, reminding everyone that beneath his laid-back attitude, he's still an overlord with serious power. And through it all, Alastor stands at the center, confident, calculating, but clearly fighting with more than just his usual showmanship. This isn't just another fight, it's personal. By the time Alastor makes a deal with Vox to become his captive, you can feel the tension crackling in the air. Vox celebrates like he's just won the biggest victory of his life, and for a moment, it almost feels like he has. The visual of Vox's screen lighting up with glee, surrounded by his loyal followers, is both hilarious and haunting. But deep down, you know this isn't the end. It's the beginning of something far darker. The episode leaves you with that uneasy mix of excitement and dread, the kind of feeling only Hazbin Hotel can deliver. After everything that's been revealed, Alastor's haunting past, Vox's broken heart, Charlie's failed attempts at redemption, Hazbin Hotel Season 2 reaches a point where every emotion, every theme, and every storyline collides. The beauty of episodes 3 and 4 isn't just in the plot twists or backstories, but in how perfectly everything blends together. These episodes prove that Hazbin Hotel has truly found its rhythm. The pacing, animation, music, and dialogue all work in harmony, making every minute feel purposeful and alive. Nothing drags, nothing feels wasted. It's a full experience that keeps you hooked from start to finish. The first thing that stands out here is the animation quality. You can see the massive leap from Season 1 to now. Every frame feels alive, bursting with energy, color, and personality. The characters don't just talk, they perform. Small gestures, facial expressions, and background details all carry emotion. You can see Velvet's gleeful mischief in her exaggerated movements, Vox's arrogance reflected in his sharp, flashy postures, and Alastor's eerie calmness that somehow feels both charming and terrifying. The visual direction is nothing short of cinematic. When the battle between Alastor and the V's erupts, it's like watching chaos orchestrated into art. The transitions are fluid, the effects are electric, and every second of the fight feels earned. You can tell the animation team poured their souls into making it perfect. But beyond the visuals, what truly elevates these episodes is the writing and character dynamics. Each interaction feels meaningful, layered, and intentional. Alastor and Rosie's scenes are filled with tension. They're not just talking, they're testing each other. There's history in every line, every look. Meanwhile, Charlie's segment with Nifty adds that comedic relief that keeps the show balanced. The humor lands perfectly, but it never undercuts the emotional stakes. Kitty's chaotic interview, Charlie's desperate attempt to defend herself, and Nifty's clueless enthusiasm all blend into a moment that's funny, yet deeply uncomfortable. You laugh, but you also feel Charlie's embarrassment and frustration. That's the kind of emotional writing that Hazbin Hotel is known for. It's messy, relatable, and real. Episode 4 in particular nails the tone. The mix of dark comedy and tragedy is at its best here. One minute you're laughing at a sharp joke, and the next you're hit with something so raw it makes you pause. The balance is what makes these episodes stand out. They're not afraid to be ridiculous, but they're also not afraid to be vulnerable. When Vox's flashback fades out and cuts to him celebrating Alastor's downfall, it feels almost cruel. The audience knows what he's been through, and watching him revel in someone else's pain feels tragic. It's not victory. It's self-destruction disguised as triumph. The show doesn't spell it out, but it doesn't need to. You can feel it, and then there's Charlie. Her character might still frustrate some fans, her optimism borders on naive, but these episodes subtly show her starting to change. The sparkle in her eyes is still there, but there's more awareness now. She's realizing that her vision of redemption might not fit in a world built on manipulation and sin. She's starting to understand the reality of what she's up against. It's quiet growth, but it's there. You can sense that her breaking point is coming, and when it does, it's going to redefine her completely. That's what makes her so compelling. She's not perfect. She's stubborn, idealistic, and a little clueless at times, but she's trying, and that makes her human, even in a place like hell. The soundtrack also deserves special mention. Every song in these episodes feels like a character moment rather than just a musical break. Rosie and Alastor's duet has that old-time radio charm mixed with eerie undertones. Vox's reprise takes those same notes and twists them into something tragic and powerful. Nifty's solo is a burst of chaotic fun that reflects her wild energy, and even the songs that feel lighter, like Cherry's and Charlie's, carry hidden meaning in their lyrics. It's impressive how the music manages to advance the story without feeling forced. It's theatrical, but not overdone, emotional, but not melodramatic. It's Hazbin Hotel at its best. What's also incredible is how well the show uses its side characters. Nobody feels wasted. Husk, who often plays the grumpy comic relief, finally gets moments to shine during the fight. Seeing him unleash his power was both surprising and satisfying. Cherry Bomb's decision to stay at the hotel adds heart to the narrative. She's rough around the edges, but loyal. And even smaller characters like Baxter leave a lasting impression, hinting at bigger things to come. The world feels alive, full of possibilities, and the writing teases future storylines without giving too much away. But what ties it all together is the emotional consistency. Despite the chaos, the fights, the jokes, the songs, there's a strong emotional thread running through everything. The idea of control versus vulnerability. Every character is struggling with it. Charlie wants control of her dream but keeps losing it. Vox craves control over his image but can't escape his past. Alastor pretends to control his fate, but Rosie literally owns his soul.